Brain Age. Brain Age 2 came out in 2007 and promised DS users the chance to train their brain while having fun. It claims on the back that it will put your gray matter to the test. But does it actually work? I'm gonna be playing Brain Age every day for 2 weeks, and hopefully I will get smarter. I'm just gonna play however much it prescribes me. I'm pretty sure there's a routine in the game that says how much you should be playing every day, and I'm gonna do that, and we'll see at the end. Day 1. Okay, so before I started, I needed a way to actually measure my intelligence before and after the Brain Age training. I managed to find a free IQ test on Mensa's website, and I know that IQ tests are not valid anymore and don't really measure intelligence, but I figured it would be a good test to measure how quickly I can complete puzzles and tasks compared to the Brain Age puzzles. So I took my first IQ test before starting the Brain Age training, and I scored an IQ of 110, which is pretty average, if not a little bit above average, and I'm happy with that. Totally good with being average. So then the idea is that I'll take the same IQ test 2 weeks later after doing my Brain Age training every single day and see if I got smarter. The activities in Brain Age were designed by a Japanese neuroscientist named Dr. Ryuta Kawashima. So every day you log into your Brain Age account and you do what is called a Brain Age check. And the game will give you 3 different tests that are supposed to activate different parts of your brain, and then depending on how well you did on those tests, it'll give you your brain age, which is how aged your brain is intellectually and its capacities compared to how old you actually are. So every day I'll be doing my brain age check, and then after that I'll be doing the training, which is a bunch of mini games that are kind of like mental aerobics. It's supposed to train different parts of your brain, get you quicker, and eventually you'll get a better brain age. That's kind of the idea. According to Dr. Kawashima, the ideal brain age, so the highest performing your brain can be, is at age 20. And I'm actually 22, so I'm kind of curious to see what kind of scores I get. I will find out. On my first day, I started with the brain age check, and they only did 1 minigame. And this is called the rock, paper, scissors test, and get used to it because you're gonna be seeing a lot of the rock, paper, scissors test in this video. Basically what it is on the screen it'll show you either a rock, paper, or scissors, and then it'll tell you to win or to lose. And with your voice speaking into the microphone, you have to say rock, paper, or scissors to complete the task. Scissors. Scissors. And it kind of alternates on the dual screens, so it kind of tries to trip you up. My first time doing this on day 1 was not great. I'm not gonna lie. My first brain age check gave me the age of 31. And so considering that I'm 22 and I know the ideal is 20, we got a lot of work to do. So then I hopped into my daily training, and the first game available is called Sign Finder. In this game, it gives you 2 numbers, and then it gives you the sum, or the answer to the equation, and then you have to decide whether it's an addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication that gives you that answer. It's pretty easy. I mean, it goes by pretty fast, and I really like that you have to actually draw on the touch screen. It's not just buttons. It adds an extra level of hand-eye coordination. And I'm not really a math person, but I feel like I did pretty well on that one. I don't know, it's the first day, we'll compare down the line. The next game on the list is Piano Player, and this is really just what it sounds like. It's a piano, and then it has the sheet music, and it tells you which keys to press as the music plays. But it doesn't take into consideration tempo at all. It really just matters whether you hit the right buttons. So yeah, I'm not surprised that I did pretty well on Piano Player. The next one is Word Scramble, and this one's pretty fun. It gives you a circle of letters that are kind of spiraling, and you have to figure out what the letters spell. And it gets progressively harder and harder. You start with 4 letters and then you end up with 7 or 8. And again, it has this touch screen where you have to draw the letters. And honestly, I feel like it recognizes the letters really well. I never really had a problem with this. And this game is really fun, but I sucked at it so bad my first day. I had to skip a couple words, and when you skip words, it adds time to your score to make it worse. So I did not do great on Word Scramble, but also I put flexor instead of reflex. I feel like I should have gotten that one. That's a word, I think. And then the last game that was available to me at this point was Memory Sprint. And in this game, you're following a runner who's running a race, and he falls behind sometimes, and then sometimes he runs forward, and you have to keep track of what position he is in the race. And then at the end, you have to say like what position he was in when the race ended. And it gets progressively faster, and so you just have to kind of keep track of him throughout the race. And this game was super hard at first. Like I had so much trouble keeping up with it. I got a terrible score. And then at the end, Dr. Kawashima said if you say cilantro into the mic on the home screen, he'll make like a funny face. Wait, cilantro, cilantro. So I did that. Okay, day 2. So on day 2, we started off with a warm-up game, which they do sometimes. It's kind of random when they decide to throw in a warm-up game. But these are always just like kind of more imagination tests. There's not really a correct answer. It's just to kind of like warm you up before you start your training. And today was connect the dots. And so basically they show you a bunch of dots and you can connect them in whatever order or pattern that you want, and then you give it a title for what you see. So I drew this because I saw a trampoline, but obviously it was actually a men's bathroom sign, which I think is less creative and cool and fun, and that mine's actually more correct. And then I jumped right into the brain age check. We started off with rock, paper, scissors, of course. And I feel like this time I was a lot more hesitant than the previous day. I don't know if I was like nervous or what. And then the next brain age check was like a number memorization game. And this one was so impossible. Like it's a grid of 25 numbers through 1 to 25. And you have to memorize as many as you can in 2 minutes and then place them back in the grid. I don't know how to get good at this one. I had so much trouble with this, and I knew it was gonna tank my brain age. And then my favorite brain age check game was the symbol matcher game, where on one side of the screen it shows you a bunch of symbols and the numbers correlating to them, and then on the other side it gives you a number and you have to draw the symbol that corresponds to it as fast as you can. It's pretty easy and honestly kind of fun. And I got a brain age of 28, which is better than 31. But then I did the training today and I was just so much worse at everything. Except for word scramble. I actually got quite a bit better at word scramble, and I even got difficult words like cuisine. I'm impressed with that one. It's not even an English word, it's actually French. I did so poorly at memory sprint, it's embarrassing. And then I unlocked Changemaker. In this game, it gives you a bunch of bills and coins that you can use to make change for customers. So it'll tell you the total that they have given you, and then you have to figure out how much change they need back. Of course, I'm bad at math. I really fumbled on this one. So yeah, it's not looking good. Day 3 of brain age training. So on day 3, I had a really long, tough day. I was grumpy. I really did not want to do my brain age. I did it at the very end of the day. So it started off with rock, paper, scissors, of course. Paper. And then we went into number memorizing, which I think I actually did pretty well. Look, I was only missing a couple numbers. And then a new test where it gives you a bunch of numbers on the screen and you have to pick the highest number in value, not in size. And it's really confusing and it's actually so much harder than it looks. So unfortunately today my brain age went back up to 29. So I did sign finder, I was slower, I did piano player, which was just like too easy. And then word scramble, I felt like I was doing pretty well and I was getting some pretty difficult words, but then the game still told me that I sucked, so I don't know how to get better at that one. And then for memory sprint, I thought I had discovered the ultimate strat where I just like say the numbers out loud as it's going. 2, 3, 4, 5, oh my god, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have no idea. But I still sucked at it, so I guess not. And then with Changemaker, I pulled out at all the stops. I did pretty well for somebody who's not that good at math. I mean, I was impressed. And then I unlocked Word Blend. In Word Blend, you listen to an audio file that says 1, 2, or 3 words at the same time with different voices, and you have to spell out the words that you hear. This game is brutal and unforgiving. This game kept pissing me off. I mean, what do you think this sounds like? Let's play that back. Let's hear it again. What does this mean? I'm sorry, no, one more time? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? And yes, word blend did piss me off, but I actually did kind of good at it, so... What's really interesting about day 3 is that I was having a super shitty, low energy day, and then I did my brain age, and actually afterwards, I kind of felt better. I had a little bit more energy, I was like more focused on things, and I actually slept super well afterwards. I was like also kind of proud of myself because I did really well on Changemaker, and then I was actually kind of excited to do my brain age the next day to try and see how much of a high score I can get. Day 4. On day 4, I did my brain age first thing in the morning. I chugged 2 cups of coffee, opened up my DS, I was ready to go. I had another warm-up activity, which was an acrostic. So here they give you 3 three-letter words, and you have to come up with an acrostic poem for each one that kind of describes the word. I feel like it's easier if I just show you. So the first one they gave me was gal, G-A-L. And so I put girl and lady. That's a gal. But Dr. Kawashima said it's actually gleeful active lass. Beat me there, I guess. And it started with rock, paper, scissors, and I thought I was doing pretty terribly, but the game said I was doing okay. And then it was the highest number game, and I fumbled a little bit, but I was like, okay, it's probably not too bad. And then it was like a quick maths addition game where it shows you 2 numbers that you have to add together, but it erases the numbers before you can actually write down the answer, so you have to kind of remember what the previous numbers were. And I thought I was doing pretty well, like I only missed a couple of them, and then my brain age was 37. 37? I was shocked. I could not believe that I had regressed that far. I mean, just in rock, paper, scissors alone, I had done better than I had in the previous days. So that made me wonder, are they giving me like really bad brain ages now so that it makes me want to continue doing it the next days to see if I can actually get a good brain age? Or am I actually just like kind of bad at this? So I went into the training, did really well on Sign Finder, brought my score up. I did a little bit less well on Piano Player, but the song was like shockingly more difficult than the ones that I had done the previous days. So I don't know how I'm supposed to get better when there's like a crazy jump in difficulty. And then with word scramble, they want you to go like so fast and the words get more and more complicated. Like, how do you want me to get homeland? That's 2 words. Then I thought I did pretty well on Changemaker, but apparently I did worse. But then I did amazing again at word blend, so I'll take the win. Day 5. On day 5, I started out super disappointed with my 37 from the previous day, but I was determined to do better. So I hopped into the brain check, did rock, paper, scissors, and I got a new high score on the entire game. Which means not only did I do better than myself the previous days, but I did better than myself in 2024 and my entire family when we bought the game back in like 2009. So I was like, okay, my brain age is about to be super good. I did the symbol matcher game, which was really easy. And then I did this subtraction test where it gives you a number and then it asks you to subtract by intervals and it erases the previous number, so you have to remember where you are in the subtraction. And I feel like for my first time doing this one, I did pretty well. And I got a beautiful brain age of 25. That is only 3 years older than my actual age and only 5 years away from the ideal brain age. Dude, I was on top of the world with this brain age. I was so proud of myself. I was so ready for this training. So I started with Sign Finder and I got another high score. Piano Player, I got the highest score possible. I got 100%. And then on Word Scramble, I did so terribly that I had to give up on the last few words, but Memory Sprint, I got all 5 sprints correct. So then I went right into Changemaker. I was gunning for a new record, but I went too fast, made a couple mistakes, and it set me back. And then I finished off with Word Blend, and I did kind of like mediocrely. I don't know, it was a hard one today. But I was feeling really good after this. I mean, a 25 brain age so early in the experiment? Can't wait for tomorrow. Day 6. Day 6, I did my brain age session super early in the morning. I was feeling really confident with my brain age 25. It gave me another warm-up activity. It was another connect the dots. I thought it looked like an egg, but apparently it was the earth. Boo! I did pretty average on the rock, paper, scissors, and then it gave me the symbol matcher, and I got a new personal record. And then with the quick maths, I was doing pretty good, but by the end, I knew I blew it, and I sent my brain age back up to 31. Damn, like just one small mistake and it is over. So I went into the training. Sign Finder, I was pretty average. Piano Player, I was a little weak, but still not bad. Word Scramble, I was really scared after yesterday's fumble, but I actually aced it and got a super good score, bumped that shit way back up. Memory Sprint, I got 4 out of 5, which like I'm fine with. I took my time with Changemaker because I was scared I was gonna mess up like yesterday, but I did fine. Word Blend, I actually did okay. I got my score up a little bit, but this game still pisses me off so much. And then I unlocked a new training game called Calendar Count, which was about to be my least favorite part of my day. In calendar count, you take today's date, and then it'll ask you questions like, what day of the week will it be in 4 days? What date was it last Wednesday? I hate this. I'm really bad at this. Like, having to visualize a calendar and then keep track of the date and the day of the week is just so impossible for me. It's really, really difficult. But I took my time, I made no mistakes, and I got a car speed score, which is like pretty good for my first time. I don't know. Day 7. So we're halfway through the experiment. This is my 1 week marker. My brain age check started with a subtraction test, which I felt like I did really badly at. But then I pulled through really well with the number memorization, and then with symbol matcher, I did super well too. So I'm happy to announce that I got back to my brain age of 25. And then I honestly did pretty average on everything this day, except I did super well on memory sprint and super badly on calendar count and changemaker. Day 8. On day 8, I woke up sick, I had a cold, my nose was stuffed, my head was aching, and I was so convinced that I was gonna do awful on my brain age. I have a feeling I'm gonna do badly today. And I did. I got a 30 score on my brain age check. 30. Oh. Even though I got a new high score on rock, paper, scissors. So now with my score of 30 and I was sick, I was so not looking forward to the training, but this is the best I have ever done. I got a new high score on sign finder, word scramble, memory sprint, changemaker, and word blend. Crazy. That's 5 new high scores in 1 day. And then I failed miserably on calendar count, but we don't need to talk about that. But I don't care, I got 5 high scores, that's amazing. But then I started wondering, I'm clearly doing a lot better at these activities and the training. So why do I have such an inconsistent brain age score? I don't know, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if it gets any better. Day 9. Day 9, I was still kind of sick. I had tea instead of my usual coffee, and so my head was kind of in my ass. Then on my brain age check, I got a new personal best, but I still got a brain age of 27. Everything was going pretty smoothly until word scramble. I put plumis instead of impulse, and I think I was thinking plumage, but then I did it again where I put forecast instead of factors. And apparently forecast is spelled with an E anyways, but it's not fair to put like plurals in a spelling game. I don't know. Yeah, so the thing with word scramble is I don't even know if I'm actually getting better or it just depends on the day. Like some days the words are just clearly easier. And if you look at my graph, this game has me jumping up and down from doing really well to doing really poorly day by day. So I actually don't think I'm doing better at this one. Another game I absolutely could not do today was word blend. What do you hear in this clip? Did you hear anxious, window, and basic? Like, am I crazy or is this just like not doable? Even after knowing what words I'm supposed to be hearing, I still don't hear it. Day 10. Today was like super mediocre, but it started out with a warm-up game, which was another connect the dots, and all I could see was like maybe a knight's helmet. But oh, obviously it's a hamburger. Obviously. So I did pretty average on the brain check today, and then I got a score of 77. Nah, just kidding. Dr. Kawashima pranked me. It's actually 28. Which is not better. He's so silly. Ugh, silly Dr. Kawashima. Anyways, then I proceeded to do below average in every single one of the training games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Except for word blend, where I got a personal best. After struggling so hard yesterday, I don't know. I think sometimes they put easy words. And then I unlocked a new training game called Math Recall, which is literally just the brain check exercise, so they didn't really actually add anything new. Day 11. Today was a good day. I absolutely aced my brain age check. I got 3rd best in rock, paper, scissors. Then I absolutely demolished the number memorizing game. Yeah, you know how I have to memorize 25 numbers in 2 minutes? Yeah. I remembered 22 out of 25 numbers and their locations in the grid. I genuinely have no idea how I did that. Like at first I would be like, okay, I guess I can remember maybe half of these, but 22? That's really impressive. I don't think I've ever been able to do that. I am so proud to say that on this day, I scored a brain age score of 22. That's my age. That's my actual age. So this presented me with a new challenge. Dr. Kawashima says that the ideal brain age is 20. Is it possible that I can achieve a brain age that is 2 years younger than my actual age? Can I turn back time and the laws of physics to attain peak cerebral performance? Well, I had 3 days left to find out. Rock, rock, scissors, rock. Day 14. Today was my last day of Brain Age training. I tried my very best at the Brain Age brain check, and I got a 28. I did pretty average for all the Brain Age training games as well, but I unlocked hard mode for Word Blend yesterday, and let me tell you, hard mode in Word Blend is not the same as easy mode. Hard mode in Word Blend is just gibberish. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what means. I don't know what you're saying. And I don't know why, but it puts it on the same graph as when you play in easy mode, so it just looks like I did super bad when actually I'm playing on hard mode. Anyways, 28. That's my Brain Age. 28. So after 2 weeks of doing Brain Age training every single day, I took the same IQ test again. And I am pleased to announce that I scored an IQ of 112. Which is slightly better than my other one, but really not in a significant way. I don't think Brain Age can make you smarter, at least not within 2 weeks. But I do think that a game like Brain Age does have positive applications. Like, I clearly got better at memorizing, quick math, some useful skills like making change. But something I didn't expect is that I think Brain Age is really good for your mental health. For the past 2 weeks, I was forced to sit and do at least 30 minutes of brain activities away from my phone, away from distractions, just me training my brain. And it actually made me so much more mindful. It gave me a little bit more energy afterwards. It inspired me to do tasks that actually use my cognitive functions. Like, this is the type of game that might make you want to do calculations in your head instead of just pulling out a calculator. Or maybe it'll inspire you to play something like Scrabble if you really like word scramble. Or even to pick up an instrument every once in a while because that shit's good for you. And so for me, Brain Age 2 had less of an impact in terms of intellect, but more of an impact in terms of mindfulness. And it was actually pretty fun. Like, games like Word Scramble I really loved, or even Sign Finder is a good quick little distraction. I think some of the Brain Age games would do really well on a phone because it's something you already have on you, and like while you're commuting or whatever, you can just do these quick little brain teasers. Especially if they implemented something similar to the Wordle, like a daily challenge, you know, so that people could get talking about it. But after a while, I did get pretty bored of some of the games, like Memory Sprint. I just got kind of in the groove and I was able to get it right every time, and so it wasn't that interesting anymore. And of course, Word Blend. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you have any experience with Brain Age, leave a comment down below. I'm super curious to hear what you guys have to say. And with that, I'll see you next time.